Our goal is to rid our border completely of Boko Haram. We know that this is a dangerous task.
Can Africa effectively eliminate a warlord without relying on assistance from the West? Mali's joint forces, in collaboration with allies from Burkina Faso, Niger, and armed Tuareg rebels, accomplished a significant feat in combating terrorism. They successfully eliminated Abu Huzaifa, an ISIS commander notorious for his atrocities, all without Western support. Does this indicate a decline in terrorism across Africa? If not, does it suggest a shift from Western military interventions in Africa? Let's find out. A recent triumph has captured global attention in Sahel, where the struggle against extremism is a constant battle. Mali's joint forces, in a coordinated effort with allies from Burkina Faso, Niger, and armed Tuareg rebels, achieved a remarkable feat in the fight against terrorism. The elimination of Abu Huzaifa, a notorious ISIS commander, stands as an example of the collective resolve to confront extremism in the region. This pivotal event not only represents a significant blow to ISIS's operational capabilities, but also highlights the effectiveness of regional cooperation in combating terrorism. As the world grapples with the evolving threat of violent extremism, Mali's success serves as a beacon of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. However, to understand how this mission was made possible, one must be aware of ISIS's presence in Mali. So, how has ISIS been active in Mali? The presence of ISIS in Mali is a result of a complexity of historical, socio-political, and economic factors that have plagued the Sahel region for decades. Mali, like many other countries in the Sahel, has grappled with issues such as weak governance, ethnic tensions, and socio-economic disparities, providing fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root. The emergence of ISIS in Mali can be traced back to the aftermath of the 2012 Tuareg rebellion and subsequent political instability that engulfed the country. Amidst the chaos, various armed groups, including jihadist factions, capitalized on the power vacuum to expand their influence. These groups, often fueled by a mix of grievances and transnational jihadist ideologies, sought to establish their authority over vast swathes of territory in northern Mali. One such group is the Islamic State in the Greater Sahara ISGS, a splinter faction of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb AQIM that pledged allegiance to ISIS in 2015. ISGS operates primarily in the border regions of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, exploiting porous borders and remote terrain to evade security forces and launch attacks. The rise of ISGS and other extremist groups in Mali posed a severe threat to regional stability and security. Their activities, which include targeted killings, kidnappings, and attacks on security forces and civilians, have resulted in widespread fear and displacement, exacerbating an already dire humanitarian situation in the Sahel. In response to the growing threat posed by ISIS and other jihadist groups, the United States and France have been actively engaged in counter-terrorism efforts in Mali. Through its Africa Command AFRICOM, the U.S. military has conducted airstrikes, provided training and logistical support to local security forces, and deployed special forces units to advise and assist in counter-terrorism operations. For its part, France has been leading Operation Barkhane, a multinational military operation launched in 2014 to combat terrorism in the Sahel region. With thousands of troops deployed across 5 countries in the Sahel, Operation Barkhane aims to target jihadist groups, disrupt their networks, and bolster the capacity of regional security forces. However, despite these efforts, the security situation in Mali and the Sahel remains precarious. The porous borders, vast and inhospitable terrain, and the resilience of extremist ideologies present formidable challenges to counterterrorism operations. Incidents such as the Tongo Tongo ambush in 2017, where 4 U.S. soldiers were killed in an ISIS-affiliated attack in Niger, stressed the complexities and risks inherent in combating terrorism in the region. Despite setbacks and challenges, the international community remains committed to supporting Mali and its neighbors in confronting extremism and restoring peace and stability to the Sahel. Now let's talk about the operation. How was the ISIS commander targeted? The recent operation that led to the elimination of Abu Huzaifa, a notorious ISIS commander, represents a significant milestone in the ongoing battle against terrorism in Mali and the Sahel region. The operation to eliminate Abu Huzaifa was meticulously planned and executed by Mali's joint forces, with support from Burkina Faso, Niger, and armed Tuareg rebels. The operation took place in the northern region of Manaka, a known stronghold of extremist groups operating in the Sahel. Intelligence gathered by Malian, Burkinabe, and Nigerian security forces indicated Abu Huzaifa's presence in the area, prompting the joint forces to launch a coordinated operation to apprehend or neutralize him. The operation involved ground forces, aerial surveillance, and intelligence-gathering assets to locate and target Abu Huzaifa and his associates. The operation's success can be attributed to the effective coordination and cooperation between Mali's joint forces and their regional partners. Information-sharing mechanisms, joint planning sessions, and synchronized actions on the ground enabled the forces to achieve their objective and eliminate a significant threat to regional security. Despite meticulous planning, the operation to eliminate Abu Huzaifa had challenges and risks. The rugged terrain of northern Mali posed logistical challenges, requiring the deployment of specialized equipment and vehicles to traverse the inhospitable terrain. Moreover, civilian populations in the area added another layer of complexity to the operation, necessitating careful consideration of civilian casualties and collateral damage. Mali's joint forces took precautions to minimize the risk to civilians, employing precision-guided munitions and conducting thorough reconnaissance before launching the operation. Additionally, the presence of improvised explosive devices, IEDs, and booby traps laid by extremist groups further heightened the operational risks for the joint forces. Counter-IED measures and explosive ordnance disposal (EOD) teams were deployed to mitigate the threat posed by these deadly devices and ensure the safety of personnel involved in the operation. The operation's success in eliminating Abu Huzaifa highlights the importance of collaborative efforts and regional cooperation in combating terrorism in Mali and the Sahel. Mali's joint forces, supported by regional allies and armed Tuareg rebels, demonstrated the effectiveness of collective action in confronting extremist threats and restoring stability to the region. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. Eliminating Abu Huzaifa represents a significant victory for Mali's joint forces and their regional partners. It reaffirms their commitment to addressing the security challenges posed by extremist groups in the Sahel. By pooling their resources, sharing intelligence, and coordinating operations, the joint forces have demonstrated their ability to confront and neutralize a key threat to regional security. What impact will this successful operation have overall? Will problems in Africa with this end forever? The elimination of Abu Huzaifa, a prominent ISIS commander, in Mali's northern region of Manaka, carries significant implications for the security landscape in Mali, the Sahel region, and beyond. The removal of Abu Huzaifa deals a severe blow to ISIS's operational capabilities and command structure in the Sahel. As a prominent commander within the jihadist landscape, Abu Huzaifa played a key role in orchestrating terrorist attacks, recruiting fighters, and expanding ISIS's influence in the region. His elimination disrupts ISIS's chain of command, weakens its operational capabilities, and undermines its ability to coordinate attacks in Mali and neighboring countries. Moreover, Abu Huzaifa's demise sends a clear message to other extremist leaders and operatives in the Sahel, that they are not beyond the reach of Mali's joint forces and their regional allies. The successful targeting of a high-profile ISIS commander demonstrates the resolve and effectiveness of counterterrorism efforts in the region. It serves as a deterrent to those who seek to perpetrate violence and instability. Eliminating Abu Huzaifa has broader implications for the security dynamics in Mali, the Sahel, and West Africa. By neutralizing a significant threat to regional security, Mali's joint forces and their partners have dealt a blow to extremist groups operating in the Sahel, thereby enhancing the prospects for peace and stability in the region. The operation also highlights the importance of regional cooperation and collective action in addressing common security challenges. Mali's success in eliminating Abu Huzaifa was made possible by the collaboration between its joint forces and regional partners, highlighting the value of shared intelligence, coordinated operations, and mutual support in confronting terrorism. Furthermore, the elimination of Abu Huzaifa may have a ripple effect on other extremist groups operating in the Sahel, leading to fragmentation, internal disputes, and power struggles within jihadist networks. This could weaken these groups' overall capabilities and make them more vulnerable to further security operations by Mali's joint forces and their allies. The elimination of Abu Huzaifa represents a significant milestone in the broader counterterrorism efforts in the Sahel. It reflects the progress made by Mali's joint forces and their regional partners in confronting extremist threats. It demonstrates the effectiveness of targeted operations, intelligence-driven approaches, and collaborative efforts in degrading terrorist networks and enhancing regional security. However, it is essential to recognize that Abu Huzaifa's demise is not the end of the fight against extremism in Mali and the Sahel. While his elimination is a significant setback for ISIS and other jihadist groups, it is unlikely to eradicate the underlying drivers of terrorism, including poverty, marginalization, and ethnic tensions. Therefore, Mali's joint forces and their regional partners must remain vigilant and proactive in their efforts to address the root causes of extremism and prevent the resurgence of terrorist threats in the Sahel. This requires sustained investments in governance, development, conflict resolution, and continued cooperation and coordination between Mali, its neighbors, and international partners. How has the world reacted to this? The elimination of Abu Huzaifa by Mali's joint forces has reverberated across the Sahel region and garnered attention from the international community. Neighboring countries in the Sahel, such as Niger, Burkina Faso, and Chad, have welcomed Mali's success in eliminating Abu Huzaifa and hailed it as a significant victory in the battle against extremism. These countries have long been affected by the spillover effects of terrorism from Mali and have themselves been targets of jihadist attacks. Niger, in particular, has been a key partner in Mali's counter-terrorism efforts, with its military forces participating in joint operations and border security initiatives. The elimination of Abu Huzaifa is seen as a positive development for Niger's security and stability, as it disrupts ISIS's operational capabilities and reduces the threat of cross-border attacks. Similarly, Burkina Faso, which has faced a surge in jihadist violence in recent years, views Mali's success as a step in the right direction towards addressing the security challenges plaguing the Sahel. The collaboration between Mali, Burkina Faso, and other regional partners underscores the importance of collective action in confronting terrorism and promoting peace and stability in the region. Regional organizations, such as the Economic Community of West African States (ECOWAS) and the G5 Sahel, have also expressed support for Mali's efforts to combat extremism. ECOWAS, in particular, has reiterated its commitment to supporting member states in their fight against terrorism and promoting regional cooperation in addressing common security challenges. The G5 Sahel, a regional security partnership comprising Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, Mauritania, and Niger, has played a crucial role in coordinating counter-terrorism efforts in the Sahel. The elimination of Abu Huzaifa is seen as a significant achievement for the G5 Sahel countries and demonstrates the effectiveness of their joint initiatives in confronting extremist threats. The international community has also reacted to Mali's success in eliminating Abu Huzaifa, with various countries and organizations expressing support and solidarity with Mali and its regional partners. The United Nations Security Council (UNSC) issued a statement commending Mali's joint forces and their allies for their role in neutralizing a high-profile terrorist leader. The UNSC reiterated its commitment to supporting Mali and other countries in the Sahel to address the region's security challenges. Similarly, the African Union (AU) applauded Mali's success in eliminating Abu Huzaifa and reaffirmed its support for regional initiatives aimed at combating terrorism and promoting peace and stability in the Sahel. The AU emphasized the importance of African-led solutions to the continent's security challenges and pledged continued support for Mali and its neighbors in their fight against extremism. And what about the response of the common man on social media? Eliminating Abu Huzaifa has generated widespread discussion and analysis on social media platforms and in the international media. Malians, in particular, have expressed pride and satisfaction in their country's achievement, viewing it as a testament to their resilience and determination to confront extremism. On social media, hashtags such as Mali Victory and End Extremism have trended, with users celebrating Mali's success and highlighting the importance of regional cooperation in combating terrorism. Many have praised Mali's joint forces and their regional partners for their courage and dedication in confronting extremist threats and restoring peace to the Sahel. However, the international media's response to Mali's success has been mixed, with some outlets questioning the credibility of Mali's claims and others highlighting the significance of Abu Huzaifa's elimination. Western media coverage has often focused on the challenges facing Mali's military government and raised concerns about human rights abuses and democratic governance in the country. While the elimination of Abu Huzaifa represents a significant victory in the fight against terrorism in Mali and the Sahel, it also highlights the complex challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Now, what to expect? Despite the elimination of Abu Huzaifa, extremist groups in the Sahel remain resilient and adaptive. The fragmentation of jihadist networks, internal power struggles, and the emergence of new leaders pose challenges to counter-terrorism efforts. Mali's joint forces and their allies must remain vigilant and proactive in addressing evolving threats to ensure continued security and stability in the region. Moreover, addressing the root causes of extremism remains a significant challenge in Mali and the Sahel. Factors such as poverty, marginalization, and governance deficits create fertile ground for extremist ideologies to thrive. Long-standing grievances, ethnic tensions, and socioeconomic disparities contribute to the perpetuation of insecurity. Therefore, comprehensive approaches that tackle these underlying drivers of extremism are essential to effectively combating terrorism in the region. Additionally, the ongoing humanitarian crisis in the Sahel exacerbates security challenges. Conflict, displacement, and food insecurity have worsened the plight of vulnerable populations, further destabilizing the region. Mali's joint forces and their partners must prioritize addressing the humanitarian needs of affected populations while simultaneously confronting extremist groups to ensure the safety and well-being of all individuals in the Sahel. Furthermore, weak governance, corruption, and institutional capacity constraints undermine Mali's effective efforts to address security challenges. Strengthening governance structures, promoting transparency, and enhancing the capacity of state institutions are crucial components of sustainable counterterrorism strategies in Mali and the Sahel. By addressing these governance issues, Mali can better respond to security threats and promote long-term stability in the region. But indeed, this is a moment of success. The success of Mali's joint forces in eliminating Abu Huzaifa underscores the critical importance of regional cooperation and collaboration in addressing common security challenges across the Sahel. By leveraging this success, Mali and its neighboring countries have a unique opportunity to deepen their partnership and strengthen joint initiatives to combat terrorism in the region. This entails enhancing information sharing mechanisms, coordinating military operations, and effectively implementing joint strategies to counter extremist threats. Furthermore, community engagement and empowerment are pivotal in effective counterterrorism strategies in Mali and the Sahel. Mali's joint forces can foster trust and resilience within local communities by involving them in decision-making processes, addressing their grievances, and providing avenues for economic development and social inclusion. Empowering communities to actively participate in security efforts strengthens societal resilience and creates a sense of ownership in the fight against extremist ideologies. Investment in development and resilience-building initiatives is another critical aspect of addressing the root causes of extremism and promoting long-term stability in Mali and the Sahel. By addressing socioeconomic disparities, improving access to education and healthcare, and creating economic opportunities, Mali's joint forces can mitigate the appeal of extremist ideologies and empower communities to resist radicalization. Investing in infrastructure, job creation programs, and social services contributes to building resilient societies capable of withstanding the influence of extremist groups. Moreover, international support and assistance play a pivotal role in sustaining Mali's counterterrorism efforts and addressing the multifaceted challenges facing the country and the Sahel region. By leveraging partnerships with international actors such as the United Nations, European Union, and donor countries, Mali's joint forces can access critical resources, expertise, and technical assistance necessary to effectively enhance their capacity to confront extremism. International cooperation facilitates information sharing, capacity building, and the implementation of comprehensive strategies to promote peace and stability in the region. The most important question here is whether African nations tackle terrorism alone now. African nations have demonstrated their ability to tackle terrorism independently, as evidenced by recent successes in counterterrorism operations, including the elimination of high-profile terrorist leaders like Abu Huzaifa by Mali's joint forces. Several factors support the argument that African nations can effectively confront terrorism without heavy reliance on external intervention. African nations have increasingly recognized the importance of regional cooperation in addressing common security challenges, including terrorism. Initiatives such as the G5 Sahel and the African Union's Peace and Security Architecture provide platforms for coordination and collaboration among African countries. By pooling resources, sharing intelligence, and conducting joint operations, African nations have shown that they can effectively confront terrorist threats within their region. African nations are at the forefront of the battle against terrorism, armed with conventional weaponry and a formidable arsenal of local knowledge and expertise. This indigenous wisdom, deeply rooted in the continent's social, cultural, and geographical fabric, forms a crucial bulwark against the insidious threat of terrorism. At the heart of this defense are the local security forces, whose intimate familiarity with their surroundings grants them a distinct advantage in the fight against terrorism. Years of patrolling dusty village roads, traversing dense forests, and navigating bustling urban centers have given these forces an unparalleled understanding of the intricacies of their respective regions. They can discern subtle shifts in local dynamics, identify potential threats before they materialize, and swiftly respond to emerging challenges. Crucially, this localized expertise extends beyond mere geographical knowledge. African security forces are acutely aware of the complex social and cultural nuances underpinning their communities. They understand the intricate web of relationships that define local societies, from tribal affiliations to familial bonds. They leverage this understanding to build trust, gather intelligence, and foster community cooperation. This deep-seated familiarity allows them to distinguish between genuine grievances and extremist propaganda, thereby undermining the ideological appeal of terrorist groups. Tackling terrorism independently allows African nations to assert sovereignty and ownership over security challenges. Relying solely on external intervention can undermine national pride and sovereignty, whereas taking the lead in counterterrorism efforts empowers African nations to address security threats on their terms and in alignment with their national interests. By tackling terrorism autonomously, African nations can build their capacity and strengthen their institutions for long-term resilience against security threats. Investing in local security forces, enhancing intelligence capabilities, and improving border security are essential to building a robust counter-terrorism infrastructure that can withstand future challenges. African nations have also demonstrated political will and regional leadership in addressing terrorism, as evidenced by initiatives such as the multinational Joint Task Force against Boko Haram in the Lake Chad Basin and the African Union Mission in Somalia-Amisom. These efforts showcase African nations' commitment to combating terrorism and promoting peace and stability within their regions. Do you think now there is any chance for the West to exploit Africa in the name of protecting it from terrorism? Let us know in the comment section. Will Africa let any Western nation in? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.